Three guys die. They get to heaven. St. Peter says, I'm going to ask you a question. Don't try and lie. You might end up in hell if you lie about this, but did you cheat on your wife while you were alive? And the first guy says, you know, I never did. I thought about it now and then, but I never actually did it with anybody but my wife. And St. Peter goes, you know, God loves a loyalty and fidelity and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, you're going to love this. And he calls on, gets on the phone, he says, motor pool? He said, send up the caddy. And a minute later or so, this gorgeous, brand new Cadillac, white, red interior, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous car, comes rolling up, and St. Peter tosses him the keys and says, there you go. And the guy goes, what's this for? And he says, well, you know, heaven's huge, huge place. Everybody's got to have some form of transportation. And because you never cheated on your wife, and God really loves that, you get the caddy. Wow. He jumps in, off he goes. The next guy says, well, I wasn't like that guy, not as, you know, I did cheat on my wife one time when she was having our third kid, me and the secretary, and, you know, been a long time, and I just got vulnerable, but just one time. And he goes, well, and St. Peter says, that's not so bad. So he gets on the motor, and he says, send up the Chevy. And this, you know, kind of oxidized, but, you know, good running old Chevy comes up and gets the keys tossed to him, and off he goes. Third guy goes, man, if God loves fidelity, I don't even know why I'm here. I mean, I banged everything I could get my hands on. My wife's sisters, all of her girlfriends, everybody at the office. I mean, you know, you name it, I was after it. If it wore a skirt, I did it. He goes, well, you're still here in heaven. You did other good things, so he calls and he says, send up the V-dub. And up comes this rusted out, beat to hell, ugly as sin, old Volkswagen. Barely running, but running, and off he goes in this bucket of rust, Volkswagen. A couple weeks later, the guy in the Chevy and then the Volkswagen come to an intersection in heaven, and there's the guy in the Cadillac, and he's beating his head against the steering wheel of his Cadillac, crying his eyes out. Well, they jump out of the cars and run over and say, what's wrong, man? What's wrong? You've got the finest car in heaven. Nobody's driving a Cadillac except you. He says, well, my wife just died, and I just saw her. And the guy goes, well, that's great, you know, your wife's here in heaven with you? He says, yeah, but she just went by on a skateboard. A skateboard. Get it? Get it, Karen?
I do.